task 2. This is one which we did some time ago, so those of you who haven't done it might be not remembering what to do. So we looked in general and about how we might organise time, and you might recall we looked at the documentary The Unorganised Manager, or training video starring John Cleese. So this is the handout for task 2. You'll have this as a digital copy. If not, you don't have the paper one which I sent to you previously. So there's some information, some ideas around task management, but what we have here is the questions. So I'll just explain what's needed. So the first one is to state clearly 2 short-term, long-term goals. It says there, remember they need to be SMART. So what you have is SMART is here. So the idea that it should be specific, a goal should be specific, measurable, ambitious, realistic and timely. So the example I used in class, you might recall, was the idea of learning Japanese. So many of you thought that if I said, I will learn Japanese, would be a SMART goal. But, what is learning? Is it measurable? Have I learned Japanese? Is it ambitious? Well, it depends how much I'm learning. Is it realistic? Depends how much I'm learning. Is it time related? Not at all. So if we set a SMART goal for that, it could be, I will learn Certificate 4 level Japanese by June 2012. That's specific. Certificate 4 level Japanese is a controlled standard. Is it measurable? Do I have the certificate? Do I not? Is it ambitious? Well, a Cert 4 in about 6 months is reasonably challenging. Is it realistic? Yes, it's ambitious, but it is achievable. Is it time related? By June 2012. So yes, it is related to time. There is a deadline. Remember that a goal without a deadline is a dream. So you need to come up with 2 personal, 2 professional, with one leading into the other. So I would suggest you just do them in a grid. So if we go personal, professional, short-term, feeding into long-term. So an example there, personal, to buy a house in Broadmeadows by December 2014. Your short-term goal might be to save $100 towards the deposit this month. So they're both SMART goals, and the short-term goal is feeding into the longer-term goals. Professional might be to achieve 7 on a beep test by this date, and then you might have some exercise task which is related to that, or some goal that's partway there. The idea is to break down the goals into smaller parts, so that that's how we go about achieving them, because a long-term goal can seem so distant, it's hard to use it to focus. So that's why we have that part there. Then what we're going to do is look at the idea of prioritising some tasks, and the way we do that is we make a list of tasks. They can be related to these, but they don't, maybe some of them related to that, but they don't all have to be. So we list our tasks, and we're determining in what order we should do our tasks. And a simple way to do that, and this is again from our video, The Unorganised Manager, we could say, how important is the task? How important can be, what would happen if I didn't do it? How closely is it related to my key purpose in my job? That sort of thing. So give it a score, let's say just do it out of 10, but you could use a category. And then how urgent, so how pressing is it, the need to get it done? So what you do is you give a number for each of these. So let's say our one task is to return some library books. So we might say, if we don't return these library books by Friday, then we'll get our library account will be suspended. So importance, it's probably not that important unless you really need to use the library. But if we said if we don't pay our power bill by Friday or our electricity will be cut off, then that might be very important, yet they both have the same urgency, so we might give them a 9 out of 10 for urgency. So what we would have, when we prioritise, we would have this one as a much higher priority. This one is a much higher priority because of the level of importance, whereas this one might only be a 3. So what we're trying to do is generate a spread of numbers here, so we get an idea of the relative importance. These columns could be changed if you have other systems. This is just one way, but this is a good basic simple way. What you'd find when you're working is that you'd develop other ways of managing these, adapting the ideas to your particular situation. So that's what that question is, looking for a table like this. Calculate these ones or estimate these ones, and then from it determine what this one is. Okay, and maybe about 8 tasks would be sufficient there. Question 3. That's just a chance for you to jump on the internet and find some ideas about how you could manage time, some ideas that you could use to manage your time effectively. So that one should be fairly easy for you to achieve by doing some quick internet research. Remember, reinterpret them into your own words. I don't want you just cutting and pasting off the internet. That's that task.